All right, hi guys, it's Irvin here again. Today we are back with another series of the Founder Fables interview, and today I have a very special guest. It's someone I know for quite some time now. It's actually an entrepreneur in the education space, and he, runs multiple branches, teaching students to help them improve their chemistry. And he's done so well in the recent years that I even saw him being featured on the local news press on Channels News Asia. So, without further ado, I'd like to bring on my special guest and get him to share more about himself. Yeah.
Thanks, Irvin. Thanks for having me. To all the listeners and viewers out there, my name is Jerald. I am the founder and principal of Achiever's Dream, chemistry specialist. We are the first and only chemistry specialist in Singapore to own an NEA-approved chemistry lab, as well as our own AI chemistry app to help students learn chemistry faster, easier, and smarter. Yeah, so we are right now spread across 3 outlets in Singapore. So the main outlet is at Bukit Timah, Jalan Bingka, just beside the rail corridor. The second one is at New Tech Park Mall, Lorong Chuan. And the last one, which is our new outlet expansion, is at Kembangan, just 2 minutes away, opposite Kembangan MRT at Jalan Masjid.
Cool. And which year did you guys start this? Like, where was the first outlet and which year did you start it?
We started the first outlet back in 2016, if my memory didn't fail me. Okay, so it's back in 2016. We started our first outlet at Jalan Bingka. So it's the first shop house. So that's where I all in every single thing that I have. So because prior to 2016, I was teaching back from home. So fresh out of NUS, I started from home doing a private tutoring. All right, then from there, as the student number grew, our neighbor complained because we are causing so much traffic jam at the condo area, and every single week their parents are wondering why there are so many cars patronizing our condominium. So that's where when neighbors start to complain, we have to find an alternative location. And with whatever that I have, in 2016 we branch out to our first outlet at Jalan Bingka. And ta-da, that's where we start our first outlet.
Oh, Jalan Bingka is where? Where's the nearest MRT for that location?
We are looking at opposite Bukit Timah Plaza. Okay, opposite Bukit Timah Plaza. The nearest MRT is near King Albert Park or Beauty World.
Is there a reason why you chose that location? Is it because it's Bukit Timah, a lot of rich families there?
I hope that people think that is the real reason, but actually that's not the real reason. The real reason is because the rent there is cheap. Alright, the rent there is one of the most affordable that I can afford at that point of time, and that's all I have after accounting the renovation cost as well as the rental, right? That's the best that I can afford, and that's the reason why we started there. And if you have been to that stretch, there is no walk-in traffic, and you will only see, like, I don't know, you won't see people around there. It is a stretch of road that you will need to have some other ways of traffic in order to get people there.
It's like very closed off, that's why the rent is low also.
Yes, correct, you're right.
Okay. And how much was the rent back then, like when they give you for that place?
You're looking at 3,500 for 1,100 square feet. So that's about 3.1, 3.2, the kind of rates, PSF.
Wow. Even back then, it's still 3,000, but that's still not like cheap actually, especially like if you're starting out.
To give some more insights on that place, it is a level 1 shop house at Bukit Timah nonetheless. Alright, so if it's a level 1 with proper frontage and a proper drop-off point, and you are looking at a Bukit Timah District 23, I would think that it is a very decent undervalue rate to be paying for, which I'm grateful for, because after the first outlet in 2016, the next one, which is a chemistry lab, happened in 2018. So in a single stretch, we own 3 shops over there. So first is the tuition center, the second one is the chemistry outlet, chemistry lab, NEA approved, and the third one will be our teachers lounge. So yeah, that's pretty cool, I think.
What's a teachers lounge?
Because in our later part of our career, right, we started hiring full-time teachers, and in our initiatives to give them a better working environment, we decided to build a staff lounge for them, a place for them to work. instead of just camping at the classrooms, right? So we built a staff lounge for them.
Oh, God, is there like a ping pong table also? You know, those kind of like
I would
HQ.
love to have a ping pong table like all the techs,
Yeah, tech. Yeah.
all the tech conglomerates, right? But I don't think we are at that scale right now. We are still very lean, and every single cent out there must be spent wisely. We have not seen the value of investing in a ping pong table yet. So, to answer that question directly is not yet. We don't have a ping pong table.
Okay, but it's still so nice that you guys created a lounge just for the teachers to work. Like, I'm sure they appreciate it greatly. I don't think every tuition center has that for the staff.
I believe the teachers really appreciate this gesture of ours. We always put our people first over profits. That's what I always tell my team. So at the same time, we really focus on giving them proper work-life balance, giving them a life compared to other industries out there or other competitors out there, right? So we really treat people like people and want the best out of them. So we are also bringing them to an overseas trip, I think very, very soon. Because we're going to close the company for a couple of days, bring them for a team retreat, build some nice bonds together and bond together as a team. And we need to thank them for their efforts for the entire year.
Oh, where are you guys going?
Oh, we are just going to JB this year. All right. So this
Right.
we start out with JB. So I share with them the dream is that whenever the company do well, okay, we are going to go further and further away, and JB is the start. All right, from JB maybe
Oh,
go Batam, go Bintan, go Bali, then maybe go Thailand or something. So you'll start to go further and further.
I like that. It's like progressive goal.
Yeah,
So,
so we start with something simple and start with something sustainable and work towards improving from there.
ooh, so tell us like what was back in time like what is exactly the backstory? Like how did you come up with the idea to even start this business like way back then?
So way back then, actually, it all started back when I was first a student myself. I was struggling in chemistry. I tried to search for a tuition center. I stumbled upon a really atas tuition center. And when I visited that shop, right, they implemented a diagnostic test. And in the diagnostic test, right, it showed that I'm really bad. That's the reason why I'm there, right? But
Mm.
instead of being welcomed with open arms, right, I was dead right rejected.
Wow.
So I was rejected. I was like wondering to myself, how come am I rejected? Aren't tuition centers supposed to be open to help those who need help?
Correct.
I think the game that they are playing right is they take in all the best students. They take in the best students right, and they can maintain a very good reputation, so that they will always be known as wow, a school that give really good results. Yeah, so
Oh, it's a marketing play, right? They filter
I
out people. Yeah.
maybe they will attract those students who don't need tuition to begin with. So, but when I had the experience, right, I told myself if ever a day I grow up, right, I want to be that tuition center to take in all the students who don't do well, and on top of
Oh,
that, we want to provide bursaries to those lower income family to help and give everyone to deserve quality education, and that's where it how all begins. Yeah.
how old were you back then as a student? Like
Oh,
how long ago was
probably
that?
16 years old. 16 years old when
16 years old, you already knew you're gonna start a chemistry tuition center. Like
I know I'm going to start a school, but I don't know that it's going to be a chemistry school.
but you
Yeah,
already knew like you wanted to go that route. You wanted to open your own center to help. You say help the people that were rejected, or like you say people that maybe don't do so well in their studies, but they need the help the most. You wanted to be that person for them because of what you experienced.
you're right.
Wow, that's so powerful, man.
Yeah.
This is
So
wow, very powerful story. Wow.
once the intent was set at
Oh,
16, I began to teach my classmates tuition at 16. Like 16, I'll teach my juniors at 15. I'll teach them math or some other subjects, right? Just to get the hang of
mm,
it. Then when I was JC, I will teach my peers that's younger than me. When I was in army, I will always do some part time at the side so that I don't have to take money from my parents.
mm,
Just be financially independent because back then I have my own girlfriend already, right? I don't want to like
yeah.
fund my girlfriend with my parents' money. Sounds so weird.
Yeah, that's true.
My parents' girlfriend or my girlfriend, right? So I was like, no, I'm going to fund it myself. So yeah, get on my 2 feet and get out there and make some money. So that's how it all started, man.
Yeah, it started off with a mission, like, actually, a mission to really help other people and even
Yeah.
give back to people.
Yes.
Understand. And how was like your life growing up? Like, did you come from a family background with money to begin with? Like, this is something that a lot of people always ask, or maybe these entrepreneurs start off from a rich family, right? What yeah, tell us more about that.
Oh, I come from a middle class family. I wouldn't say a lower income. I think I belong to a middle class family, of which I personally think that there isn't proper financial management skills in the family, right? Because when my father who sowed a seed in me that I'm going to start a business, right? His business failed when I was in my teens, and my mom became the sole breadwinner of the family. So after witnessing all her struggles and how she managed to bring up the entire family with the help of my dad, I have a very strong resolution that I'm going to be an entrepreneur and end that worry in the entire family. So regardless, right, of whatever background that I'm from, I started my entire business with zero capital, and every single cent, every single capital that is required came from my own efforts. I will teach tuition from part time. I'll exchange time for money. I will save up. I will spend really prudently, live way below my means so that I can have a very high saving rates, so that one day the dream can be realized.
Yes.
So that's how it begins. Things wasn't that rosy. I do not have like a rich father. Wow, just son, take
Yeah.
this, the
Yeah,
business.
sorry. Small loan of $1 million.
Yeah, fail also never mind. No lah. I'm lucky I didn't have such a father because it taught me many more lessons. Instead of having all the resources, I learned to be resourceful. All right, because of being so resourceful, right, I managed to build a team really lean from ground up, bootstrap, and yeah, and till today, all these skills I'm still using.
See, what business did your father do back then?
My dad, my dad was in a manufacturing business. So back in the good old days in the manufacturing industry, right, they just have to manufacture a product and send it to a partner. So that's how they make. They 赚差价. So that's what they say in
It's like
Chinese.
the whole supply chain, like he's the first one, then he sell to the distributor, then go to the
Right.
retailer. Like what,
So
what
yes,
products was it?
you can expect like Sony TV parts. You
Wow,
can
TV.
look at
Okay.
TV parts. You can look at some plastics. The name back then is called Eldora Plastic at Lamsoon building. So that's how it all started. So, but when globalization occurred, right, when everybody starts shifting their manufacturing plants back to China, right, my dad's business didn't manage to turn over, didn't manage to maneuver around such that it is able to survive this shift. And that's where he has to explore closing his business and reverting back to normal life.
So what did he do like after that business like didn't work out because like China lower cost and all? Like what did he do afterwards? Like for your father?
I think my father began in the real estate industry together with my mom, supporting my mom. But he played more of a role of a house husband back then, supporting the entire family. So you can imagine being a
Yeah.
big boss with close to 50 people under his team back then, and how he's managed to put down his ego and to really bring up the kids. I think that's not easy as well. Till today, we are very grateful for his help and the father's love that he's provided. Even myself and my brother, we are eternally grateful for it.
Yeah, it's really not easy, right? Especially someone from very high up, right? Managing big team, making a lot of money to come down and support the family. But I guess it's really about thinking about what's long term also, like what's the right play.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Because my own dad also like had a similar situation also when he started a business, did well, then eventually things didn't go so well and he also had to step back. So
Yep.
definitely something that can resonate with. Yeah, it's definitely not easy. So uh when you started this business, were you working in a full-time job or did you already like all in on this tuition business?
Um, When I was like 16, 17, 18, right? 16, 17, I was still studying in JC. Then after that, 18, I was still in army. And the first formal experience I had was being a relief teacher in the school. But apart from that, it has always been doing it part-time. Okay, doing it part-time, figuring things out on my own. And and to see what are the best practices in the industry and can help the students the most. Then we start figuring things out one by one. And that's where we slowly get breakthroughs and wanting that incremental improvement year on year, right? Getting better
Yeah.
year on year, bringing more value to the table to our customers, to our students. And that's how it slowly built up and grew over the years. Compounding effect.
Compounding effect, like sticking to the one same thing over and over again for like a long time.
Yes, you're right, man.
Mm. And how do you manage your time? Like a lot of people ask, right? Like especially those working in a job, like I want to start a business, but the thing is that I don't have the time. So like to those people, like how will you answer that? How do you balance that time being a student or being in army? Like you're doing something full time. How do you juggle that balance?
All right, if we talk about army, depending on who are the audiences, okay? So if your audiences are those still in the army, they belong to the younger group, right? Back then
Let's say
during
you're 9 to 5ers. People working in corporate.
So let's say if those people working from 9 to 5, right? I will tell them that 9 to 5 you make a living. From 5 to 9 you make a fortune. Right?
Yeah.
So 9 to 5 belongs to your boss. And if you want to be your own boss, 5 to 9, you have to be disciplined and clocking at hours. Regardless of whether you feel like it or not. Every single day. Alright.
Even on the weekends, right?
Um weekend it will be like 9 to 9 lah. So if you really want the business to work, if you want the business to work, if you want the business to work. So when I was still young, right, I honed a lot of my skills in selling, be it public speaking from a network marketing firm called Amway. So in that network marketing firm, right, that's how my work ethic is like. I spend a lot of time honing my craft, getting good over the phone calls, getting good at closing, getting good at building a team, and that's how I started. So to all the people who are still holding a job, right? If your dream is to start a business, right, you must hold on very tightly to the dream. Don't lose it. Don't lose it. All right, because even though it is not easy, but those who really make it 1 out of 100, right? If you make it, you really make it. You really get to enjoy the time, the money that you want, and the lifestyle. All right. So my advice for them, my sharing for them is that hold on to your full-time job, okay? Because you are working because you need to put food on the table. You need to put food on the table. Start something during your part-time. When you are young, that's where you should go at the maximum, go at 110% because your body will not take a toll when you are young. You're like sleep a while, next day you are fully recharged again, right? So
Yeah.
go at maximum. When you're young, go for it, man. And whatever life they are going to lead 5 years from now, it depends on the kind of actions you take, the people you associate with, and the decisions you make. And if you were to do these three things right, make the right decisions, take the right actions, make the right people right, then in 5 years' time down the road, you will reap the rewards of your efforts. Be it another business, be it another investment, be it, I don't know, be it whatever that you want, right? Compound effect work in both ways, in a positive way and a negative way. So if you have the seed and intention in your heart that you want to start a business, right? Keep that seed so strong that you take action every single day. That is what I will tell people who are still holding a job. If and only if your part-time hustle is able to break even, okay, it's able to break even, at least the same as your job, then you quit your job. Yeah, but if you want to, like me, more kiasi, more kiasu, right? Try to shoot for 6 months emergency savings first. Which means 6 months, because when you start a business, not everything will go smoothly.
Yeah.
There will be hiccups. There will be like some hiccups, some like last minute things that you do not know what will happen. Things like this always happen, right? So you have these 6 months emergency savings plans, right? Then you will like have that, oh, sure, I have this 6 months buffer with to play around.
Yeah.
So if you have that side hustle that can give you your full-time income amount, and you have that 6 months savings, right? I think you're ready to quit the job and focus on your full-time, man.
So in summary, don't quit your full time until your side hustle matches the income. and then
Yep.
after that have a 6 months of emergency saving. Then maybe it's time to go all in.
Yes.
And I like what you say. You say 5 years. What you do today, taking action every day, you will reap the rewards in 5 years. You didn't say 5 days or 5 weeks or even 5 months, because I think a lot of people, they have the misconception of like, I want it now. I want it now. Like they always want very short term thinking. I feel today, maybe because of like social media and stuff. So that's something very hard for people to think about. But I like how you really say that 5 years is a good timeline, because I also think that you need that time to have the compound effect.
The greatest effect, the greatest
Yeah.
leverage entrepreneur can have, right, or an investor can have, right, is actually called time horizon. It's called time horizon.
What do you mean by time horizon?
I give you an example. So if someone's time horizon, right, is 6 months, they want to start a business and make the most out of it in 6 months. Whatever decisions, right, that this entrepreneur make, right, will be to farm the most from the customer. I want to make the most from the customer in these 6 months. So if the 6 months, right, the actions that you take may or may not benefit the customer, but you will still choose to do it because your intent is within the 6 months, you want to make the most out of it.
Yeah.
But compared to an entrepreneur that says that I want to make the most out of it after 10 years. I only want to generate a lot of money, and I am saying a big money, right, in 10 years time, right. In these 10 years, right, he's willing to put in the work to only do things that benefit the customers and consumers. Consumers these days are not stupid. They are very, very sharp. And with social media, it level every single services that we provide to the world. All right. So if an entrepreneur have a very long time horizon and they do things constantly to benefit the consumers, right? The one with a longer time horizon can make an impact because it's focusing on one thing over the 10 years, right? And in no hurry to make that money, people can smell it. And your consumers will reward you with a lot of it if you really, really put your customers first. So that's why I say, right, time horizon, right, it's actually one of the best advantage of an entrepreneur.
So I guess it depends on also the age that you're at. So maybe for someone that is still in the university, maybe like you mentioned, 24, 25 is very, very strong position, right? Don't have to rush. Versus someone that maybe already has a family, 30s to 40s, that might want to be a bit more difficult because they don't have that, maybe they don't have that 10 years.
You're right. But in order for anything big to be built, it takes time. Yeah,
Yeah.
but whatever that we want to build, right, must always check something. This is my huge disclaimer for any people out there. Right, the last thing you want, right, is you start climbing a ladder, but at the top of the ladder you realize that it's leaning on the wrong wall. Well, that's the last thing that you want. You are at the peak of an industry, but you realize that freak, that's not the wall that you want to be heading to. Then you need to come down that ladder and climb another ladder leading to the end place that you want to be. So it is always good to have very, very clear of the ending position that you want to be. What is the end result you want to achieve? And remember that entrepreneurship is just a vehicle. Yeah, just a vehicle.
Just a vehicle. But how do you how do you even find that ladder? A lot of people, I think today, they are also not sure about what they want to do. Even people that are 10 years into a job. How do you know what you want? That's a bit more philosophical, but yeah.
I would say is in our entire journey, right? Actually, we are meant for greatness, right? We are meant for greatness, and God is always preparing us for bigger things. So whatever that we are doing right now, right, may or may not be the final thing that we are doing. All right. So and I strongly believe in this statement, right? Is called 把福报当做生意来做. So my business, right, is a business of gaining good karma. What if your business is a business of gaining good karma, right? Then you will find that, actually I found my purpose. If my business is out there to add value to people, is to gain good karma. In general, everybody want to be a helpful person. I think. In general, people want to add value to the others, want to make a difference. And if can be on the giving end rather than the receiving end. That's why I believe in. Yeah. So once I have this statement as my cornerstone, right? This is one of my philosophies that I subscribe to, right? So long I'm able to add value at a bigger scale to people, I'm on the right track, and I'm doing better than last year. Full stop. That's I'm a happy man.
So it's about having the having the values, knowing what values you want to live by. Like in your case, is you said to do better than you are than the previous year, and also like adding value, impact. So basically, impact plus constant improvements, like
Yes.
never ending improvements. Okay. So how did you guys launch your business when you first started? Like, how do you get your first few customers when you open up that physical branch near Beauty World back then?
It wasn't my first few customers really back then, because my first customer is actually my own cousins. So I thought that
Cousins.
cousins. So they're my relative, right? So I thought the sister, which is a close cousin that I play with. Then I thought the Mei, which is second one. Then on my way there, on the lift trip up, I met my third customer in the lift. Yeah, in the
In the
lift.
leaf.
Yeah, she's wondering like, why are you going to the highest floor? I said I'm here to teach tuition. Then the person asked, hey, teach what subject? I say teach chemistry. Then the next thing I know, right, is that the person in the lift said, hey, my son also need chemistry tuition. Why not I take down a number, you help my son. Boom,
Oh,
that's it. I landed my third customer.
in the lift.
In the lift,
Wow.
third customer.
And yeah.
Then after that, the fourth and fifth, right, become referrals from this the first few customers. Then after that, I discovered paid ads. That's where I started doing Facebook. All right, Facebook ads. Then the rest is history.
Yeah. Paid ads, right? Skill all the way really. After you find something that works, right, and people start to give you customers, people are winning the offer, they just scale it up.
Hmm.
And when you launched it, ever since then, right, after you launched this paid ads, you have referrals, like what has worked when it comes to attracting more customers and also retaining those like people? Like what approaches help you guys the most?
Wow. Attracting is
Yeah.
one topic by itself.
Yes.
Retaining is another topic by itself. Referring is another topic by itself. So there are three big topics. So getting people to sign up. People always think that sign up is the end of a relationship with a customer, right? But for us, right, sign up is the start of a relationship. People chase very hard for a customer. But for us, right, is we once we get a customer, we work even harder to earn their trust. It's a very different mindset that we subscribe to. It's a long-term thinking versus short-term thinking. There are people out there, right, who do sales, right, is they will fight very hard and fight for the customer. Once they pay the money, right, boom, that's it. Delivery can sucks.
Yeah.
But for us, right, is we fight very hard for that customer, but we fight even harder once the person pay money, so that we want to justify that this person is making the right decision.
Yeah.
So that's a very slight difference in the mindset shift that I think an entrepreneur needs to have. Yeah, whether are you doing sales to close the customer to get the profit, or you are really closing to help the customer, you work even harder. Yeah, one is the start, one is the end. And we prefer to think that it is the start of a new relationship that we want to get it so well, right? That that we impress them such that they start referring their friends to us.
So it's about over delivering on the service, not just when you get it, but when they come in as a customer, you want to like really go to the point where they're like so blown away that they become a loyal fan of the brand and bring all their friends to you, basically.
I would say that's what we subscribe to. In fact, close to 85% of our student base are from word of mouth.
Oh, that's impressive. That's really high. Yeah, it means the
Yeah.
brand is really strong. And
Yeah.
in the tuition industry, right? What are some examples that you guys do when you talk about over delivering? When they come, you want to do you over deliver and really earn their business? Like, what are some examples that you guys do as a team to do that? Like what are some like actual examples that maybe people can also like understand?
I'll give an example in our business, right? Is we didn't change our pricing for the last few years. Right? We didn't change the pricing our last few years. The price can stay the same, but the services that we provide actually increase over the time. To give you an example, we can keep the price at A. I only offer, back then it's just the tuition, right? Tuition services, right? Four times a week, right? Then after that, next year it can be people pay the same. They get a free lab if they pay for the entire year. Then the subsequent year is like you pay a regular tuition, you pay for free lab, then you pay for free one-to-one consults. Then the subsequent year is like whenever our materials are improving, right, they get to have the best on their hands. Like what this year, what we are doing, right, is we are going to give away assessment book that people pay a lot for. Over our advertisements, right, people are willing to pay close to $200, right, for our book plus video detailed solutions. But we are going to give it to our customers for free.
Cool. Yeah, that's a good deal.
And last one, right, that I think is going to be a game changer, right, is the app that we have, a chemistry app that we have, right, that we spent close to 3 years to build, spend close to $200,000, right. We're going to give it to them to use it for free as well. How do you measure all this? All these initiatives to make the most out of their education. We are really out there trying to add value to students. It is a very different game today that we are looking at today.
Yeah, $200,000 and 3 years. Like walk us through that process. Like, what made you guys want to do that decision? Because it's not a like that. It's not an easily reversible decision. If let's say if this thing bombs or what made you guys want to invest so much resources into that? Because there's a lot of opportunity. Because you guys could have spent that 200,000 to hire even better staff. You could have spent it on more paid ads. Like, you could have done all of that, but you chose to do this. Like, what was the decision making process like?
So we know that AI is going to disrupt the industry in time to come with big data. And with data, we are able to customize the learning journey for each student. So we cannot offer a one-size-fit-all kind of solution to every single one out there in our school, because we know that student A and student B need different things, right? So with data, right, what we see, right, is student A can need and require a totally different set of questions compared to student B because of where their strength and weaknesses are. And when we are able to develop a minimum viable product, right, MVP in short, right, and people are willing to pay for it, right, we know that the concept was proved. We have a proven concept that people are willing to pay close to $1,000 for it.
What were they paying for? Like you mentioned this
They were
MVP.
paying for a full year of subscription. We just wanted to collect their money, right, to know that we have a proof of concept.
Full year of subscription, like through the app. Like, what do they get if they pay for 1 year of subscription?
So they get the full year of subscription using the app.
But what is it? What does it come with? Is it like the videos, like the course videos you mentioned earlier on, or what other things does it come with? Consults?
It comes with, okay, if they are entirely a stranger coming to AD for the app itself, right? They pay
Yeah.
897. They pay 897. What they get, right, is a chemistry app. They can do a diagnostic test for them. They can feed them solutions of the questions that they do wrong. They can do an auto assessment of any topics that they want. All right, and from there, there's a mistake feature. For those questions they have done wrong, we can set questions based on the mistakes they have done wrong and test them on it. And finally, they are getting the same questions getting wrong again is because innately their concepts are not strong at these certain topics. Then we will retest them on these certain topics. Yeah. So what they're getting, right, is videos, a lot of videos, and yeah, it's like plus written solutions, very detailed, plus videos that is adapted, customized for them. So this is what they're paying for. And when it's proven right, we are extremely happy. We continue to invest in the whole venture. And eventually right now, right, we are not charging a single cent for it and letting them to use it for free.
Wait, what? I thought you mentioned that you were paying like $800. How come they're getting it for free? Like, how does that work?
In the 3 years, right, the first year we want to know whether our product is on the right track. So we charge 897 to know that we're on the right track. And on the subsequent second and third year, right, we didn't charge anymore. Yeah, so we put it into an AD ecosystem that whenever they sign up as an AD student, they get to use the app for free.
Whoa. Whoa, they get it for free?
Yes, they get it for free.
But I guess it's pretty smart also because now if I'm a chemistry student, I'm a parent, right? And I saw the power of this app myself. Then people would already want to sign up just so that they can use the app. Like in a way, right? Because I don't think
Possibly.
anyone else has it, this
Possibly.
feature.
Yep.
Hmm, cool. So other than all of these things that you mentioned, right? Was there anything else that helped you guys when it comes to like attracting, growing the business, retaining customers?
Again, attracting and retaining is two different things. But
Yeah.
for attracting, right, is a standard funnel that we have, lead magnet, providing value at the start, develop that reciprocity that they want to return the
Mm.
favor. I think these are the basic copywriting principles that we incorporated into our business.
Yeah,
That
copywriting.
it's actually human psychology. Okay, it's a human psychology kind of thing, right? So we input into our business and we really give a lot at the start. We gave a lot at the start and added so much value that once they think of chemistry tuition and if it's within their budget, they will just sign up with us. This is what I
Mm,
realized. This is what I realized.
understand.
Mm.
And in terms of like retention, do you guys have like referral programs itself? Let's say if a student brings a friend and they get some kind of like, I don't know, kickback or something.
Definitely, we have our own referral program. And in the
Mhm.
referral program, it works like you are paid in a tiered basis from 1 student to 10 students that you refer. You can win as much as an iPhone 15 Pro Max.
You can get an iPhone 15 as a student just by referring your friends.
If you have 10, refer 10. That's the best.
Wow, I mean, as a student, like that's pretty sexy. iPhone 15, like you can, students they love to show off also.
I I'll hope that think that it is a good deal for them. But yeah, we have our own referral program. We have our own
Very
retention
cool.
strategies that we use internally in the team as well. And it has been working well so far.
Yeah, I like the tiered system also. So it's like more progressive for them to work towards. Yeah.
Hmm.
And what would you say like after all these years of running this business, like what is the toughest challenge that you have ever faced? And like how did you guys overcome that?
Well, I think the toughest challenge that we have faced is back in 2019 when one of our star teacher took my center manager, my administrative staff, my curriculum, and my materials, right? Went to start a shop 2 km within us. Yeah, and they call
Literally
themselves.
like take away your style, like take away and do
Yeah.
it together. Huh.
Yeah. Do it as a competitor, not do it together. Quite different.
Yeah, competitors are more, yeah. But it's still away your stuff.
Yeah, but by that point of time, I can be really angry, be really frustrated, right? And what I told myself is whatever people owe me, God will return me many times, many fold. And that's what exactly happened. The entire episode happened for me as an entrepreneur, not to me. Okay, it happened for me because there's a lot of things to be learned in this experience. I changed and revamped a lot of systems. I implemented a lot of SOPs, the standard operating procedures right into the team. I hired a lot more people so that my business is system dependent, not people dependent. A lot of things happened. And in fact, after that challenge, I would say that Achiever Dream become a reborn team. We become
Reborn
so
team.
much better. It's a reborn. It's like the 82.0 kind of team, right? It got so good after that incident. And I need to thank that person that did this to me, man,
Thank
because
that person.
no, because without this episode, right, I will not level up as a business owner. I will not improve the company to the standard that I want to, and it will not be where it is today. Any event, I came to the conclusion that any event that happens is neutral. Right, so this can be this event that someone betrayed the team and stolen our stuff and started the shop, right? This is actually an event itself. It can be seen as a good event or a bad event based on the lenses that we put on it. But the lenses that I choose to put on, right, is that the 10 good things that happened to me because of this, right, is what AD become AD 2.0, business become system dependent, not people dependent. We have so much more team size increase, so much more systems, so much more processes, right? And there are
Yeah.
so much benefits that happen because of this event, such that after this event, right, I think that is a good event. It is a great thing that happened to the team and organization, and we improved so much because of it.
Yeah, I like how you said like you can see it as a good thing or bad thing, but you choose to see it as like a good thing, right? Then you push you to become even better. And what are some of the examples that you mentioned, like going from AD to AD 2.0 system? Like, what are some of examples of this, like, that really made you guys level up as a business after the incident?
I think one of the main thing, right, is that we used to be a revolving door business. You know what's that?
Revolving door means like transactional, come and go.
People come in, people go. People don't stay. People don't stay in the business long enough. So that's what our business used to be back then, a revolving door business. But after all the strategies I have implemented, right, we see that of the years of my full-timers that left, wow, I think only like one or two left me over the period of the last 3 to 4 years.
What made that change? Like, that's huge. Because if the staff retains for so long, then the business can grow faster. You don't have to worry about constantly hiring people.
You're right. So we are very grateful that all these strategies were implemented, and we reap the rewards of these strategies a few years down the road. Yeah, and that's why I always put people first over profits. And we can see that people are really the cornerstone of our success in the industry. It is not us anymore. It is our people that is good. Today, right, our teachers are willing to go the extra mile for students. Today, our operation staff are willing to do more for the company because they just like to be with one another.
The culture is so strong. Like,
Culture is really strong.
And I guess some of the examples that you mentioned earlier on, the team retreats, the staff launch, all of these really have helped to build that culture into the family. This is not just a job, but this is actually a place where people are like almost like family. I think that's very, very powerful. That not every company has.
Before we use the frame of family,
Yeah.
I always like to have that distinction that my team is not a family, because family is a very strong word. Okay, a family to me, right, is someone that never ever leaves me. All right. So at the same time, right, but to me, right, I would like to position myself as a winning team. A winning team. Winners like to play with winners. I don't know about you. There are people that is highly competitive. All right, and whenever there's a weak player in the team, right, it actually pulls the entire team down.
Yeah.
All right. One person mistake, right? Every single one in the team has to pay for that mistake. So I come to the conclusion that we want to keep the best people in the team. And to keep the best people in the team, right, we act and perform like a winning team. We have to reward the performance. We have to X the non-performance. So it keeps the entire ecosystem, right, extremely motivated ones. So it's a little different. So we no longer use I used to use the term AD family, but I no longer bring in the term because I do not want to bound people that you're part of us, you're one of us, you're my family, right? You're not allowed to leave. I know.
It's about being a winner, right? If you want to be a winner, then stay on.
And I do not want to tolerate bad behaviors. In family, you need to tolerate bad behaviors, but in a winning team, right, you don't need to.
Yeah, it's a frame shift, but it's I think it's important also.
Yeah, it's a very minor shift, but once you see the benefits of it, right, well, you will realize that it's very subtle shift, but you will get to build a stronger organization. They are here together to win, not here together because they are a family. It's different.
Yeah, it is a bit different. Interesting. So, how would you guys say you guys are like doing today as a business? And 5 to 10 years later, like, how does that future look like for AD?
How are we doing today? I think we are at the peak. I think we are at one of our peak of the business of the entire 6-7 year journey. So we are at a peak enrollment period right now. So I'm grateful for that. In the next 5 years, we intend to grow organically and inorganically. Let me explain that.
Inorganic.
Organically is because we are going to open maybe a few more centers. Okay, we're going to open a few more centers and to grow and grow market share. I think that's one. Number two, to grow inorganically, right, is because we are going to acquire other subject players, and we're going to consolidate the business because now we are only in one single subject. chemistry, right? So because there's one-time cost of acquisition, and in order for a business to operate like a business, is number of customers times the frequency that people pay and times the amount they pay. We're going to work on cross-selling strategies to include other subjects players into the ecosystem, such that we can attract based on chemistry, but they will end up signing up for other subjects as well within the same school.
So can I say your long-term vision is to eventually take the company to become like a holding group where you actually, let's say like a parent organization, then you own multiple brands of different subjects, and I mean chemistry will eventually just be one of them.
Yes, you're right.
And you said acquire, so does that mean you actually will buy out the entire like founder, then they leave the business? You actually will buy them over and you revamp the entire team, or maybe the founder still stays on, but you just own shares in that company.
I think that the founders have to be aligned with me that we have to like our customers a lot more. We like our customers, we like to play the game together, we share good ideas together. I think it has to be that way. We always keep the option open for founders whether they want to stay or not with us, because today we already have a foolproof system on how to run successful tuition businesses. Yeah, so long people are willing to use the systems, right? We know how to get things done. Yeah.
Then why not consider the franchise more? Since you already have the playbook, then some people they do the franchise like the preschools, infant care, they do that. Why not like do that instead of like
There are a lot of different considerations when it comes to franchise. In fact, maybe one of the new outlets we want to explore franchising to our own teachers instead, as a possible career pathway progression in the team. Yeah. So and the thing about franchise is we want to protect the brand equity and to ensure quality while expanding. So we are not the kind that want to expand, but the quality drops, right? If people start to say that it's commercialized what quality drop, these are the last things that we want to hear. So we are taking it one step at a time, making sure that we have sufficient resources, we have sufficient manpower, we have good teachers in order to support good education. Yeah. So for franchise, it is also a viable model, but more like a career progression for our own teachers. But if not, it'll be more straightforward as a way to deploy our resources in the company, right? To buy other related businesses in the industry.
Interesting, yeah. Now it makes sense. Now, like how you compare both sides. Actually, even if you franchise your own teachers, you technically also have control because they are part of the team already. So you already know that, like you know that they've already understand and they apply your systems already. Like they've been trained already.
At least the company core values must sit well in them. Yeah, there are certain core values that we want to retain as a main brand identity. That I have today, I have founding teachers because one of the values that we have is being grateful, right? So as one of my founding teachers in the team, even though it still don't make sense for me to hire them today, I'm paying them way higher as a part-time teacher. But I still hire them because they are one of my founding teachers with me since day one.
Sorry, you said you're paying them way higher than part-time.
As my founding teachers who are working here part-time, so they can get higher than maybe those people who spend lesser time in the organization.
Because of the loyalty.
Yes, correct. So, but we are totally okay with that because being grateful is one of our value that we preach in the entire ecosystem.
Understand. And through starting this business, right, have you learned anything that is particularly like helpful or advantageous? Like looking back, you realize, if I had this, right, I knew this back then, I would be way ahead, like right now.
Well, I think in the journey of running AD, right, the most precious thing that I took away, right, is me as a person. It's not what I earn from the business, what I become through the business.
Interesting. Like,
yeah, because after being able to handle a business at the current scale that we are at, which is I think still really small, right? I get to project manage a lot better, manage a lot, get to get more things done better compared to last time. And I see the importance of being organized. I'm quite messy last time, but after the whole incident, right, I become much more organized and so much more better. Yeah. So But if you want to scale a business to the moon, right, you need to be really, really organized and systematic. Yeah, if I were to tell you, if I were to share something that I've learned myself, it is that the best
Think,
business owners that are able to scale to the moon are not the one that is they're not the ones that are messy type. Those are very, very organized. One of my mentors, Alvin Poe, I don't know whether have you seen his stuff. He's very organized. Yeah, very, very organized. Extremely organized. The way he structures his stuff, right, is like, wow, I learned so much just by learning from him.
like when you say organized, you're not saying literally like his house or his group, but you're saying like in his business, maybe his scheduling or the way he systemized document everything is very clean. There
Yes,
is no like confusion.
yes.
Understand. And this question, right, is gonna be a very, very interesting one. Do you think anyone can become an entrepreneur?
Wow. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think the path of being an entrepreneur is for everyone. Yeah. In fact, after being an entrepreneur myself for close to 10 plus years, before that I'm still an entrepreneur, right? I find that if you want a better life and less risk, a better position to be in might be an employee with stake in the game. That might be a better place to be in actually.
Like say like those tech companies like Google, they give you stock options when you come in, then they pay you six figures, those kind of you're saying.
Yeah, because allow me to elaborate on why I say what I say. All right, I get to see the ups and the downs of a business. I get to witness how much more risk I'm taking as a business owner. Maybe at the mid stage of my career compared to when I'm starting out. The risk that we are taking is so much more. It's so much more, and you are the one that's vested in the business, right? So you will have to be more concerned about the business more than the others. It's naturally like this. It's your own baby. So if you want other people to be more particularly concerned with your baby, right, it's not easy. So if you want to have a simpler lifestyle whereby you can just not think about work after work, right, you can consider the employee route. But try to climb a ladder within a smaller company because that's where you can get famous in the company. If you go to big company, people don't know you anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would really explore that route. If ever again, I'll try it again because the risk is so much lower and you can really put off work after office. In a business, right? I do not know about you. So many friends that I've asked about business owners, right, is they will constantly think of their business. Constantly.
Oh,
The
for
thought
sure.
never stop.
Even at night, right? Even when you sleep,
The thought
sometimes.
never ever stop. And and some people might question your sanity while doing so. So it's not
Mhm.
easy. It's really a marathon that once people sign up for it, right? They cannot be expecting a sprint because this is a real marathon.
It's a obsession, right? It comes in years. You're playing a game that is probably lasting for decades, for the rest of your life, in fact.
Yeah,
And you mentioned that just on the road, you said to work in a smaller company. Like, what do you mean by that? Because you said to have stake in the game. Because if you are working in a smaller company and you want to have stake, then I'm guessing the only route is usually a startup. Like you work in a startup, maybe.
if you work in a big company, right, it's so hard to get yourself known, correct? But
Yeah, like Facebook, right? It's too big. 5,000 employees.
if you work in a small startup, right, and you know that the startup is doing well, and you get to have the chance to work closely with the founder, right? That's where when you prove your value, you can actually negotiate for shares and equity that they will be most likely to give it to you if you have proven your worth. And it's so much easier to be known by the founder compared to freak. If you work in Facebook 10 years, I don't think Mark Zuckerberg will even know you.
Oh shit, oh, that is a bit ouch right there.
But maybe like 20, 30K employees, right? Even you are like, I don't know, it's just so hard to get his attention, right? So hard.
Yeah, that's true. Too big
Yeah,
already.
but yeah lah. So
So join a startup that is doing well, you mentioned, get equity, work directly with the founder. Because like that way you don't take on any of the risk. The founder is still taking the risk, but
Correct.
yet if it does well, you get a cut. It might not be as big, but you still get a cut.
You're right.
Huh. Actually, that's true. Actually, didn't think about
Well,
that. Actually, yeah, intrapreneur, you say? Intrapreneur.
it's all about risk management. Risks don't come to me when I'm young, but as I get slightly older, right? I consider the aspect of risk management. Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen some founders where they start their own business, right? They constantly expand. They don't build their other side portfolios, right? If their main business is down, boom, they went back to their life before business. It's very scary. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and managing resources in a company and running a company is very different topics that we have to learn as an entrepreneur. The learning never ever stops.
Yeah. Yeah, that's lifelong learning, which is the same value that you have also, that's like.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So what platforms and tools do you guys use to run your business like nowadays, like day-to-day operations?
We use Notion, we use ActiveCampaign,
Notion,
we use Calendly, we use Zoom, we use Google Drive, uh, ActiveCampaign, we
right?
use Zapier, we use our school management system.
You have your own school management system.
Of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I guess the app also, right? The app. You have the app also,
Yeah, correct.
the in-house app. Hmm. And what would you say is like some of the most influential books or podcasts that you feel really like influence you and like help you on your entrepreneurship journey? I know you mentioned like a mentor just now, Alvin Poe as well.
I would think that you can consider, let me think. At the top of mind is like books like Atomic Habits, How to Win Friends and Influence People, John C. Maxwell, Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. What other books? Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
I'll read that way.
Simple book, but at different juncture of my business, when I read that again, I learn different things. What
Or
other?
you reread the same book.
Of course. Yeah. So The Magic of Thinking Big. These are the few good titles that I would recommend people. Yeah, and if not, you can consume a lot of Alex Hormozi stuff. Alex Hormozi is really good. He put up a lot of good content out there. He's really playing a long game. Yeah, he's really playing a long game. And when he decided to do YouTube, right, you must listen to his podcast that he say that he's not judging whether YouTube works at the first or 10th video. He's judging it after the 300, in the hundreds of videos, whether it really works. So that is really a kind of
300.
It's a long-term horizon.
Wow. Yeah,
Mm.
that's powerful. And speaking on this, right? If you could give just one advice to someone that wants to start his own business, one it need not be tuition, it could just be even a restaurant or a fashion boutique. Like, what advice would you give this person? Let's say this person is either in a corporate 9 to 5 or maybe even a university student, like a younger version of yourself back then.
Try to start part-time and try to
Part-time.
lower your risk. Whatever business that you try to start, the lowest kind of business at the start is service-based, where you sell your time. If you can sell your time, right? For me, I started as tuition, right? And maybe for you is sell email services, email marketing services, right?
Yeah.
Always start with the services business because that gives you higher margins and let you pull up cash much faster. Try to do it in a risk-free manner before you commit to employees, before you commit to any shop front, you commit to anything else. You must get your working model. Start off part-time. Get a working model. Experiment with paid ads. Once you get all this down, then you explore other means and measures.
Keep your costs lower and also like get some kind of like proven model, like you get the money coming in
Yes,
before you increase the risk.
yes.
Cool. Yeah, so that's actually the end of the interview. So where can our listeners go more like to learn more about